Each year, a representative group of graduates of the college, on behalf of all of the graduates, are asked to nominate a member of the faculty to speak on this occasion. This year's faculty speaker is David Karpf, Assistant Professor of Media and Public Affairs. Professor Karpf.
Thank you, Professor King. It's a pleasure to be here. Congratulations to all of you. To the PhD students or the new doctors in the audience, we'll be teaching the secret handshake after this ceremony is over. And welcome parents and families who've come as well. I come here today to give you one primary message. I want to congratulate you, but also tell you that you aren't done yet. You thought you were out, didn't you? So, before I explain that, I want to ask all of you to think back, not to your graduate career that is ending now, but to the last time you were in a room like this. All of us here, as graduate students, have experienced a commencement before. And that was an undergraduate commencement. So I want you to take a second and remember that moment that you were in. It was probably raining less than it is now. Maybe not. It always rains at commencement. I went to school in Northeast Ohio, and when I think back to my undergraduate commencement, there are two things that come out for me. I only knew two things, actually. One was that I was going to be moving to Washington, D.C. as soon as we were finished with this. And the other was that I was completely terrified. I knew nothing else. I knew I was going to miss my friends that I was leaving. I knew I had this degree, but I wasn't sure what was going to come next. And part of the reason for that is because undergraduate education was a choice that I made still as a teenager. For most of us in 21st century America, your choice when you're thinking about an undergraduate education is not whether to get a degree, but where to get a degree. This choice today is different. The degree that you're receiving today is a choice that you made as an adult. And so when you think back now, not to the last commencement, but to your graduate education, think about the start of the graduate education and what you were trying to achieve with this. All of you came here for a reason. You were pursuing something because it was this choice that you made as adults. Some of you were already in a career. In fact, some of you have been working throughout getting this degree. But some of you were in a career and you chose to get this graduate degree so that you could take the next step in your career. For others of you, this was an opportunity to embark upon some other career, some other job, or to take the first step towards a PhD, at the end of which you'll learn that secret handshake, by the way. But for all of us, it was a choice that we made as adults. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is, having graduated actually not too long ago, having sat where you sat not too long ago, there are three things that I've learned since then. And so I want to end by giving you these 3 points of knowledge that I've picked up along the way. The first, and I can't stress this enough, my graduate students in the audience have heard me go on about this before, but the first thing, all of you need to start getting more sleep. I'm actually serious. There's a habit that I picked up in graduate school that took pride in the all-nighters, that had me believing the later I stay up, the more I'm learning. How many of you believe that currently? Yeah, you're wrong. Yeah, that's not true. It turns out I have learned since receiving my graduate diploma. It turns out that if you get a full night's sleep, if you wake up rested, you'll do better work in the morning. And all of us now with these graduate degrees, all of you will be going into careers that require creativity from you. And creativity demands a rested mind. So the first thing I want to impart to you is, please start getting, let's say, 25% more sleep than you've been getting over the past few months. The second item is that at least for this weekend, you should take time and celebrate. One of you is already starting. Good. Many of you, as soon as you're done here, are going to start thinking about what comes next. You're going to feel that terror that we all felt when we got our undergraduate degrees and start worrying. This is a real accomplishment, what you've done here. And so take the weekend, be with your friends, be with your family, and celebrate what you've accomplished here. Because we don't celebrate enough, and that's another bad habit that I think we often acquire in graduate school. But then the third one is to understand that the choice you made in coming to graduate school was a choice as an adult. And that's what you aren't done with yet. So after this weekend, after you're done celebrating, think about what your next choice is going to be. All of the best careers, all the best lives are led by people who actively make choices rather than just responding to the opportunities around them. And that doesn't mean thinking 10 years, 20 years out. Think back 10 or 20 years and none of us could have seen this coming. But it means at a minimum, looking around you and deciding who is the person that I want to be and what choices am I going to make now to help become that person. Those of you who get enough sleep, take time to celebrate, and make choices about the next thing are going to continue with your education. You're going to continue learning. And that's the reason why you aren't done yet. Today is a moment, an important moment, one worth celebrating. But it's just a moment in your broader education. None of us are finished learning yet. And after this weekend, you should think about, what am I going to go learn next? And devote yourself to that the way you've devoted yourself to this. Thank you and congratulations.